Hey bud, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC. I'm the hitting coordinator for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm going to get a chance to take a look at your video today, talk through some things. I'm going to let this run just a couple of times. I see some good things. You know, I like your setup right here. We're in a really good athletic position, and you know, basically what we're trying to do is maintain this good athletic bend in the knees. We always want to keep our knees inside of our feet. We don't want to sway back and get the back knee over the back foot in the load process, so we can maintain some good balance and get ourselves into a position to cover the pitches on both sides of the plate, in, middle, and out. I like the setup position. I'm going to run this forward. We're going to go into the load and talk about it for just a minute. As we get to the point where when we load back, okay, you do a good job of getting the hands set up, okay. Your hands load back. We're in a good position there. When we get back or loaded like this, and this foot lands on the ground, the stride foot's down, when this position right here, again, now we're looking for good equal bend in both knees. I'm looking for the hips to be square to home plate, such as this, shoulders square, hand-shoulder height. I'm looking to see that we get good separation with the hands. We get them behind the back knee a little bit, and in a real good position, okay? We want this head to be over the belt buckle, a good attacking position, all right? Now, as we go forward, okay, this front side starts to open just a little bit early, all right? The front or the stride foot is in about a 56-degree open. We don't want that stride foot to be really any more open than 45 degrees. As it starts to open up more than 45 degrees, this front hip starts to leak open, and it starts to go towards the first baseman, second baseman, and then that brings our hands in that direction too. It makes it very difficult for us to handle pitches on the outer half of the plate, to be able to handle breaking balls that are left up in the zone, some pitches we should hit, or curve balls that are a little bit slower. It takes us off the ball with that front hip. So we want these hips to be square in this position and not have this tilt that we see here, okay? That would be one thing I think we could just try to get you in a little bit better position right now. So as we start to go forward in this swing, we can see that you get a good turn with this back knee. We're in a good position. As you start to drive the back knee into the inner part of the front thigh, this elbow will drop, and it'll work down underneath the hands next to the rib cage right here with that back knee. Okay, so we'll go forward and we'll see if that all comes underneath. It does. Do a good job of that. The hands, the elbow, and the back hip at this point should all be in alignment. Okay, and again, you know, keeping that head more over the belt buckle, and now we're starting to kind of spin and rotate on that back foot, and we really want to get into that front leg so that we don't spin around and take this knee outside the front leg, which in turn is going to cast the hands out away from the body, and they're going to swing out and around the ball, and we're going to get a real quick finish, okay? So I'll just run it forward, and we'll take a look at where we get to a contact. Now, I see some things here that I like. We're in a palm up, palm down position with our hands. That's the strongest position to be in. We're also head and eyes right down the barrel of the bat. And I think it's important for you to know that whenever the head and eyes come up to follow the flight of the ball, essentially our swing is over at that point. Our barrel path, our bat path is going to follow. It's going to follow the head and eyes. So if we want to get good full extension and keep that barrel traveling out here towards the pitcher, then what we need to do is just make sure that we condition ourselves so that those head and eyes stay there for at least 1 or 2 counts past contact. Okay, so we'll go forward from contact to extension. You get a nice full turn. We do have a little bit of recoil where we're back on that back leg, and if I look at this pitch, it appears to me that this pitch is middle to middle away, and if we're going to hit this pitch with authority and drive it into left center, we just need to get weight going into this front leg right here. Now this front leg, at no time will this front knee ever get outside the front foot. So we just want to make sure that there's a transfer of weight into that front side. And then we want the elbow to drop underneath the hands to get to that connection where the hand, the elbow, and the back hip are working. But we don't want to recoil and fall back in our swing. And I think we see this ball that you hit, you get contact to it, barrel to it, but to be able to finish through, I think we're a little bit inhibited with just finishing with the weight on that back leg, particularly on this pitch that's middle away a little bit. Okay, so I'll run it through a couple more times, and we'll just take a look at some of the things that I saw. We can see here when we load. It's a good load because you don't sway back. You're into that back leg. And into the leg, I mean, at this point, I kind of see driving into this back leg, this knee staying inside that foot, and I don't really see a lot of weight that would be sitting on top of your leg. But as the swing progresses, we kind of get just a little bit of a recoil and get back on the back foot just a little bit, or finish with the weight sitting more on the back. On the back leg and sitting on top of the leg. So I think really the biggest thing I think that would help you. A lot of really good hitters will set a tee up, and I would like for you to set the tee middle away or even outer third, and just work on staying through that ball and driving balls hard through the shortstop, driving balls hard into left center, and try to get weight shift, try to get weight transfer going into that front leg. Okay, the more we stay on that back leg, we have a tendency to kind of spin, and we don't have the ability to stay through and on balls that are outer half. So once we get to this loaded position, let's just check and make sure that we got the good bend. Okay, we got the hips are square. We don't want our hips to be. We don't want to have any tilt to those hips. That means we're probably sitting on the backside just a little bit. So let's just set a tee up middle away, outer third, and let's work on getting into that good attacking position, and then go ahead and transfer that weight into that front leg, and just make sure that we, at this point, when we get to here, we just want to make sure that this back knee doesn't get outside the front foot. You're good there. You can still transfer and drive and shift more weight into that front side, and it's just going to help you stay through these balls that are out away from us and so tough to hit, particularly the off-speed pitches and the change-ups, where we need to keep our bat in the zone as long as we possibly can. Okay, but I want to thank you for coming to our camp, and I wish you all the luck in the world.